There's always something to talk about when you got 30 teams and there's drama around the league. You do always have good content. And we have good content because we've seen some games again. And that's what we like. They don't count for real, but they do kind of count because you get some film against some starters for maybe a limited period of time. And we've done that again in week number 2 in a little segment we like to call Film Review.
It's very creative.
We're trying to trademark it right now. We're running into some issues with that because apparently it's been around for a while.
Do you like film review or reviewing the film?
You know, we might have to go with reviewing the film because that might be the only original title that we can come up with. So Film Review, week 2. Can I give you some quarterbacks here?
Yeah.
And go through them? And I want to start with a guy that I covered back in the Bay Area for the last couple of years.
So that's why you're not wearing the 49ers jacket today.
I couldn't today. I had it. I was like, you know what? Didn't look great. Jimmy Garoppolo, first action since tearing his ACL last season against Kansas City. So let me give you the numbers, even though you don't really look at numbers, but you do look at the tape.
Well, the numbers are worth they're worth it here.
So 1 for 6, 0 yards on that 1 completion, 1 interception. So the numbers ain't great.
No.
Did the film look any better?
No, it did not. Okay. I can't say that I sat there and went, oh yeah, got a little unlucky, got this, that. First off, let's know this. The guy hasn't played a ton of football to begin with in his career, and he hasn't played any almost in a full year. So this is the first time being out there in live action. I certainly did not expect him to come out there and be Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers and just dicing people up. Got to have more respect for the sport that way. It's just not that easy to just go back in there and go, oh, I'm the man again. So I knew there would be some cobwebs to work out. Within that, okay, this is another aspect with all preseason games you got to take into effect here. Some teams game plan, some don't. Some are playing starters, some are playing the second stringers. Hey, in this particular case, these teams are practicing against each other all week. So Vic Fangio, I'm sure, had a great feel for what the 49ers were trying to do. But regardless, the overall look from Jimmy GQ at this point, it just wasn't stellar. Okay, and not that I say I'm panicked yet, but here's the things that bothered me. Of course, the interception, right? The interception, I'm not sure which guy he was throwing it to. I'm not sure if he was throwing it to the outside guy who actually intercepted it. I don't think so. My understanding of that play is he was trying to throw the running back fade down the sideline there, but because it's his first action and he had pressure on him, the game's moving fast. Everybody hears that every now and then, right? The game needs to slow down. I bet you the game was like chaos to him last night. It was a mosh pit, like a concert, where when he's really greased up and feeling good, it's a nice symphony, and everybody's sitting in their seat. And, oh, this is pretty. Yeah. But last night he was trying and he's like, whoa, they're coming after me.
It's heavy metal.
Right. And I mean, that throw was in no man's land, so that's like discouraging. That tells me he wasn't seeing the field real well and wasn't even comfortable in the pocket. Another throw a little later on, should have been a pick 6, right in the guy's breadbasket. Again, just another instance where I went, man, I mean, the guy clearly had the leverage on the receiver. I don't know what you could have saw there to make you think you were going to get that in there. Plus, he had the guy who was running the corner route over the top of it in a man-to-man coverage. If he throws the ball out towards the sidelines, he's probably going to get a completion there. So just little instances, I say, he's not seeing things clearly.
Yeah. So 1 for 6 is 0 yards, 1 interception, and it could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Not great.
Could have been worse. Now, again, I know you haven't seen this movie, Last Samurai, but they talk about Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. He's trying to become a samurai sword fighter, and they go too many mind. Right? You're thinking about too much. Just focus on your moves in the fight and the guy in front of you. And I think, he's all over the place. Oh, offense, new players. Oh, let me protect my front knee. I don't want anybody to fall on it.
Well, that certainly could be part of it, too.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's talked about the rust. But there is this idea out there now after seeing that game, and you do hear a little chatter of, okay, how much, positive film and how much evidence do we have that Jimmy Garoppolo is one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL? He had a great run with the 49ers when he was starting, and that's what got him paid the big money.
It is, right.
But I think after seeing the game last week, maybe a little unfair, first game back.
And even the start of last year, though, it wasn't great to start the year. The Vikings, the Chiefs games, you know what I mean? Yes.
So how confident are you that Jimmy Garoppolo is still one of the upper half good quarterbacks in the NFL?
It's one of the biggest question marks in football right now. He really is. For all the things you just said, we talked about it early on. As a guy that hasn't played a lot of football, and, there he's had a long time off. I would say the pressure on him is probably as great on him as anybody in football at the quarterback position. you know, to what you're saying, he had that 6 games, right? Yeah. So that gave them confidence, but they were also backed into a corner. They had no quarterback. So they kind of had to, like, make a move and pay for him. Yeah, that's where things really became a little bit tough for the 49ers. I think Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch thought they'd be able to scrounge some games together with Brian Hoyer and C.J. Beathard and win a few games and then maybe wait for Kirk Cousins and free agent. Right. But it started out 0-10, and then it was like, oh, shit, we got to get somebody in here that can, like, right the ship to a degree. And Bill Belichick calls, and they make the trade, and it happens, and then all of a sudden things happen. And, yes, is he overpriced and overpaid for what he's done to this point? Absolutely. I mean, there's no denying that at this point. We're hoping now that he will justify it. And the last thing before we move on, this goes into, too, why you want to know why he's struggling. Anybody go back, watch the TV copy, watch the film. Some of his mechanics are horrible. His feet are not good. He throws a lot of balls flat-footed. On the interception, he literally, like, steps sideways to throw a ball. Let's just say we're standing on a clock, right, and 12 o'clock is in front of you. Yeah. He wants to throw the ball to, like, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock over there, but he steps to, like, 7 o'clock. I mean, damn, man, the ball's not going to go where you want it to go if your leg's going one way and you're trying to put your upper body another way.
Is that new, or these are
little things I saw last year. Okay. He doesn't do, like, hitch steps, right? Like, and like, I want to almost stand up and show everybody.
We always like it when you stand up, too.
Okay, then I'll do.
Sometimes you're out of frame, but that's okay.
Yeah, but okay, you got it. You got the jib there.
Your head's out of frame, but
hey, that's what everybody wants anyway, right? Nobody wants to see me.
Oh, you're good.
But okay, so I'm going to stand right here, but like. Okay, you see Brady, right? Brady catches the ball. Rodgers catches the ball. When they see a guy open, they catch the ball, okay, and it's boom, and they throw. Like, there's that little hitch step, that gather step to get your power and get it. Garoppolo, everything is catch it, and it's, or sometimes he literally will step backwards. And I just go, man, so if you're going to throw balls into a tight window, like that extra 3 or 4 miles per hour, that might be the difference between it being complete or that guy getting a pick 6 that hit him right in the chest. And that's where I would be concerned. He compromises his power and his ability to really get the ball out of his hand with authority because his feet are, they're too flat. There's not enough movement there, and they don't get in the right positions.
That's interesting. You know, in good hands with Kyle Shanahan, you hope that they can bring him along, but some question marks for Jimmy Garoppolo, and some question marks maybe now developing in preseason week number 2. You don't want to overreact. Of course, we're going to have our underreactions coming up.
Yeah.
But to Kyler Murray, you said after seeing him for the first time, he looked really good. It didn't look as good his second preseason game. 3 for 8, 12 yards, was sacked twice.
Yes.
What'd you make of Kyler in week number 2?
I'm not going to back off of what I said from week 1. I still like the way Kyler Murray looks. This would be my assessment of kind of what happened and why it wasn't as smooth. First off, there was the whole clapping thing and the false starts. They got to get that figured out.
Yeah, so what was that?
Well, they're basically calling false starts on the quarterback for, these abrupt fake claps, right?
Yeah.
So
I feel like quarterbacks have done that.
Well, not the abrupt fake claps. The NFL quarterbacks is usually a leg lift, or you put the finger down, like in between your legs, so then the center who's looking between his legs can see it, right? Okay. You might go, hey, second finger, first finger. But when it's an abrupt motion like that, like a quarterback underneath the center who might go, hot, 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 and bob his head too aggressively.
Right.
This is the same type of thing. It's too much of an aggressive movement for guys who are in the three-point stands and trying to go on like the first little movement, and then they can see a guy in their peripheral vision kind of doing something like that. That's not fair to them.
Because what are they snapping it at? Are they snapping it on the sound of the clap?
Yes.
And so he's trying to do
he's trying to fake the clap. Okay. Right. So just like it's like a dummy snap count. Let me see where the defense is moving because they think I'm going to clap. Oh, okay. I didn't clap. I got him. Oh, that guy's coming. Let's get the protection over there. That's basically what he's going to try to do. They're going to have to rework those mechanics. That's not going to fly in the NFL. Every defense is going to complain about that to the referees before the game starts. But I will chalk it up with this. Kyler Murray, a little off, yes, definitely. But, like, I liked his reads. I wasn't like, oh, well, that was stupid. Or, whoa, that ball was like a helicopter out of his hand. That looked like shit. Yeah. No, he was still throwing piss missiles all over the field, just a little off. And really, I think it was the first time, he was uncomfortable. The Raiders did some things that I think were a little more advanced than the Cardinals were expecting in preseason game number 2. And there was a few moments where he got the ball, and I don't know if he thought, he wasn't 100% sure he was protected. So he gets the ball, he looks at the receiver, and then he like look back to go, oh damn, is that guy blocked or not? And then he tried to look back down the field. Little things like that can throw your rhythm off. But the Raiders did some creative blitzes, and I think did some things to where, yeah, ultimately are going to be good for Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. It's going to make them grow up. And I can picture John Gruden. Like, this is what John Gruden used to say in scenarios like this with young quarterbacks. I think we owe it to them to see if this guy's up on his blitz responsibilities. I think we need to see. We owe it to them as good NFL coaches to see if he knows what the he's doing when we send pressure. And I think that's kind of what happened. They said, let's mess with this rookie. And, of course, he wants his team to start looking good, too.
Yeah.
It's in a big year for him, so he's trying to frame that as well. So I'm not panicked.
So maybe they had some more advanced tactics on the Raiders side, you say they did.
Yes.
And Cliff Kingsbury has said, he told our own Peter King, the games we're trying to keep it close to the vest, obviously.
Yes.
So he's indicating that there's obviously a lot more in their bag of tricks that they are not showing yet.
Toughest thing about the preseason is some teams are game planning. Some teams are going, nope. We're doing as basic as can be. And like I said, some teams are playing starters, other teams are not. And that's where you got to be careful to evaluate and always just look at stats. I just look at the player and does he belong? Ooh, his movement's still good. His reads were still good. The ball came out of his hands. I'm not worried about like Kyler Murray if he'll hit the corner route next time when Larry Fitzgerald's there. Like he can do it. Yeah, he missed the other day, but he'll do it. And he'll do it to where it's going to be like 9 out of 10 times. It's all new and the game's moving fast at times.
So you say don't look at numbers, but these are just too good not to look at. Daniel Jones, 11 of 14, 161 yards, 1 touchdown, did lose 2 fumbles.
Right.
In the game. But
not worried about that.
Not worried about that. Okay, so Daniel Jones is making everyone, including yourself, who said he shouldn't have been the number 6 pick, look silly right now. True or false?
True. No, that's true. I mean,
not silly.
Well,
it's
but it's okay.
Still.
He has every right to go, hey, screw all of you. I look good and eat all of that. I mean, I hope that's what he is thinking in his brain. I mean, really, I want to go interview him so he can, like, shit on me and return the favor. I mean, I really do.
I don't think he would do that.
He probably wouldn't. He's more of a stand-up person than I am. But either way, yes, Daniel Jones, I think has surprised me with the fact accuracy is phenomenal. The quality of the football, his timing and understanding of the offense in general is just really good. Let alone, he does have a presence. He looks big out there. He plays bigger than his actual size is. And we haven't even seen him run and do stuff like that, which is pretty damn impressive too. But it's some of the down the field throws that I think I've been the most impressed with. Whether it's the touchdown in the first game in the back corner of the end zone or the fade down the left sideline in this game, hit another deep cross. All those things, it looks good. He looks the part. Now, I'll say this. I think the Giants are game planning a little bit more than other teams. I do. I think Pat Shermer's going, it's year 2, and I got to get my stamp on the offense, and these guys got to start getting reps with the things I want to do. The Giants' O-line looks good. They play, he got to get in there with the starting O-line, so that was a great advantage this time around. I only have one concern about Daniel Jones, okay? And it's a concern that I had during the draft. And I just saw a glimmer of it for the first time in preseason game number 2. And again, he was 11 for 14. It's really awesome. But we're a podcast that likes to break football down. Yeah. And we got to not only self-scout thyself, I need to scout everybody else. The one thing that just jumped to me a little, and it's just something to watch for because I saw it at Duke a lot, and this is what really scared me, is, again, I'm going to stand up, okay? You ready for this?
Absolutely.
Part 2.
Do it quick, and it'll cut off your head at first, but then we'll adjust.
There we are, yes.
Okay, there we go, we got it.
But Daniel Jones, okay, to this point has been very good with the shoulder, right? And if he wants to throw it, as he throws it, he kind of gets a little turn to create opposites and do that. Yeah. It looks great. But this is what I saw a few times in the game the other night, and I saw this at Duke. He can get the front shoulder open, and then it never gets back to where it gets. And there was a few throws, 2 specifically in the game, where he wanted to throw his heater, the 100-mile-per-hour fastball, had like a crosser going across right to left. And he wants to let it go and put it in a tight window. But he gets all like, it's like only the arm goes. He doesn't get any of the body involved, and the ball dies and falls at the feet. And that's, I'm just saying, I hope that doesn't continue to happen. Yeah. Because what he's done in all his other throws has been phenomenal. These are just 2 or 3 throws, but I'm just saying those are things that I just saw. I'm getting very technical here with quarterback. I'm not panicked or anything like that. Daniel Jones has looked phenomenal so far.
So what do you make of the fact that the owner of the Giants, John Mara, has said that the perfect season would be that Daniel Jones does not take a snap?
Yeah.
He does not take one snap all season. It's Eli Manning's show. I mean, I guess that means that Eli's playing at a high level.
Exactly.
38-year-old, and they're winning a lot of games. And I mean, I guess there's a lot of sense to it, but what do you make of that? There's no snaps for Daniel Jones throughout the year.
I'm not shocked by that. I mean, they mentioned the Patrick Mahomes template before the draft about we would like to follow that. And in this case, Eli's Alex Smith and, Daniel Jones is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Have you seen any from Eli? Anything that jumps out at you from the limited time he's been on the field?
One, my dad's been at practice twice, and he's told me Eli's look good. But Eli looks good. Yeah. Eli, I could tell he's worked with somebody to throw the football for the first time ever. His motion is tighter. He doesn't let his arm get as long behind him and break his angle at his arm. So there's two things. The ball popping out of Eli's hands, even the touchdown throw in the game the other night. I challenge anybody to go on TV, look at like the second cut where they show like a little end zone cut. The ball is really spinning. That is not usually an Eli Manning football. Like, it is spinning hard, a lot of revolutions per yard or whatever you want to say there. Other thing is, he looks in shape, like he's lifted weights for the first time in a long time. And, like, thank God. He does. He looks good. He looks a hair quicker, a little more pop in his step in the drop. So, I know I've been rough on Eli the last 2 years, but it's deserved. It hasn't been good. And if he can look like this and put positive things out there, trust me, I'll be there to give him lots of compliments and say, go Eli. I'm not afraid to do that.
4 for 4, 42 yards and a touchdown for Eli Manning. And if he can get some protection, if he is improved, a little bit improved version, then
he's all happy. He's a Giants fan back here.
We do.
Look at he's like, thumbs up. Cool.
Smiling ear to ear. Daniel Jones and Eli both look good. Oh, this is the best thing ever. There was one quarterback last week that you said jumped off the screen to you.
Yes.
And it was, you didn't quite say he's the eventual successor to Tom Brady, but you were really impressed with what Jarrett Stidham did last week. This week he goes 14-19, 193 yards, 1 touchdown. He capped a comeback as well. I don't know how valuable that is in the preseason, but you are trying to win and move the ball down the field, and you feel the pressure. 23-yard touchdown pass with 4 minutes left to get that comeback. So what'd you think of Jarrett Stidham this week?
He continues to impress. I had Jarrett Stidham above Daniel Jones, and I will sit there and go, tell me what really the big difference is between the two. I mean, to this point right now, and that's not trying to be a hater on Daniel Jones or anything like that.
I just like Stidham.
I just like Stidham, is right. Stidham's arm is big time, and he does it with ease. I mean, he can really 20-yard out routes, and it just looks like he's throwing the ball 5 yards, but, you see the ball, and you go, whoa, damn, I mean, okay, that's on a line. So calm in the pocket, doesn't get stuck on the first read too long. Really orchestrating an offense that's very complicated in NFL terms. And I know New England doesn't have, like, the whole kitchen sink in yet, but regardless, it's an offense that it's got a lot of different layers to it. The verbiage is hard, and, not as he's not going to run as fast as some of the other. He's no Kyler Murray. Daniel Jones can run faster than him too. But Stidham is like Brady, really smooth in the pocket, just little subtle moves. And if he needs to break out of the pocket, he has enough speed to get on the run and make a throw on the run. So Stidham has been one of the surprises of preseason to me. I mean, not to say I'm surprised. It's just been better than I would have even imagined.
Sure.
The quality of throws. Did he have a few mistakes? He had one down in the red zone. He should have thrown an interception, threw the ball behind the guy. But again, those things are to be expected to a degree. Right now, he is looking like he's on the arc to maybe be that replacement.
Maybe he had the advantage of playing in Nashville because the last time he played in that stadium, it was for Auburn.
He tore it up.
Threw 5 touchdowns in the Music City Bowl in December.
Hey, he looks like he's like, if you told me, if I didn't know who it was, and you said, hey, look at number 4, I'd go, what is he, like in year 3, year 4?
Huh.
He's poised like an NFL, but he's unfazed by the rush. It's an aggressive mindset. If he sees a little opening or inkling he can get the ball in down the field, he's going to pull the trigger and throw it. And I like that about him so far.
So maybe in 12 years when Tom Brady retires, it could be the Jarrett Stidham
54
show.
years old. He's won 14
over.
Super Bowls, and he's retiring finally.
Been a backup for a decade.
Yes.
And finally gets his chance. One more real quick. We got Ryan Finley.
Yeah.
Of the Bengals. I don't have his numbers, but how did he look?
They were good. Okay, I'll pull up the numbers. I got them here for you. Don't worry.
He threw a 19-yard pass, I think. That popped up.
He's 20 of 26 for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Ryan Finley's going to be the backup in Cincinnati. I've already seen enough to know that he has more talent. He plays the position better than a guy like Jeff Driscoll. Finley, as you may remember, I also had him in front of Daniel Jones, and I would argue there too. Tell me what the difference between Daniel Jones, Jarrett Stidham, and Ryan Finley is. They're very similar guys in their aspect. Finley really plays big. He looks like he's 6'7" out there, even though he's like 6'4" and change. But another sneaky good athlete. Okay, his arm is maybe not as powerful as Daniel Jones or Jarrett Stidham, but it's still a good arm to where you go, oh, there's no problem with him making any throw. I mean, he can make them all. The thing I really love about Finley, and I love this coming out, his accuracy is off the charts with any type of throw. I mean, it's like, bam, bullseye. Damn, bullseye. Whoa, he's moving in the pocket and people around him. Damn, bullseye. Yeah. I mean, that's what really jumps out to me. And he does it, without overpowering the football always. Like I said, it might not be a 98-mile-per-hour fastball, but it's 95 or 96. And he's just got a great anticipatory, is that a real word?
Anticipatory, yeah.
Anticipatory.
That's a good one, too.
Feel of like, ooh, there's the window. I can put just the right touch on this ball to where when the guy hits the window, it's going to hit him right in the chest. He really has a great feel. He really plays the position the way it's meant to be played. And, I would say watch out for Ryan Finley there in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I mean, I think he could be a guy that takes over the reins there at some point.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.